Good morning, afternoon, evening everyone. Hi, my name is Myra and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Myra and I make movie reviews and trailer reactions and a lot of things in between. Usually it has something to do with movies, series, or anything that I can fangirl on. And sometimes I do things about my daily life also, and unboxing. I like those as well. But let's see if we can add more videos later. If you like what you see, don't forget to click that bell button besides my subscribe button so you will be notified if I upload something new. Now, today, I will be talking about Glass movie. I really do not have any bells and whistles to add at the title of this movie review, mostly because the movie itself is pretty straightforward. If you are not familiar with the two predecessors of Glass, then I'll try to tell you the story from the very beginning. Glass is the last movie of the trilogy by the director M. Night. Wait a minute, I have to read his last name. M. Night Shyamalan. I hope I get it right. If I don't, please correct me in the comments below. And the first movie is Unbreakable, and the second movie is titled Split. Unbreakable is about an extraordinary man possessing comic book-like superpowers, and he was about to get head-to-head with a villain, a man with genius intellect and obsessed with comic books, but has brittle bones, which is why he is called Mr. Glass. Now, the second movie is about a coming villain, a man that has 24 distinctive personality inside his body. And one of them is the Beast, which is the worst personality because, well, he behaves like a beast. Now, this third one, Glass, is about how all three characters came together in one place, and you can already imagine there will be something interesting coming out of that. Now, I'll try to tell you a little bit about the synopsis before I delve on into my movie review about this particular film. If you have watched the previous two movies, then you would know what happened to the characters and their respective opposites. And I mean, the characters are, of course, David Dunn, Mr. Glass, which is Elijah Price, I think his real name, and then Kevin Wendell Crumb. And the direct opposites of them is, David Dunn's son, which is Joseph Dunn. Elijah Price has his mom, and then Kevin has his former hostage. I forgot her name, but I will put her picture here and maybe tell you her name here, around here. In this movie, you can basically see where each movie left off. David Dunn is being the vigilante on the street, and of course, Kevin, or at least the personalities inside of Kevin that take control, is doing Horde's work, which is rounding up the people that hasn't suffered and make sure that they will. Somehow their path crossed, and after one epic battle, they ended up in an asylum of some sort, where they are being treated for believing that they have superpowers. And what do you know, Elijah Price, aka Mr. Glass, is there as well, treated for the same thing by the same doctor. Now, what would happen now that all of those three are in the same place? Mayhem, total destruction, the abomination of the world as we know it. Do stick around to find out, but if you haven't watched the movie, I suggest you pause here, then watch the movie. And of course the previous ones too, if you haven't, and then come back. I have made Split movie review before, which I will attach the information right about here. Look at my mom arm. So please enjoy that. And because of that movie, I decided to watch Unbreakable in Netflix. And I was utterly blown away. By the way, if you're living in Indonesia, I think both Unbreakable and Split will soon be on Netflix again. I think Unbreakable never leaves, but Split will come soon. So make sure you watch both of that, because if you don't watch those two movies, the storyline in this movie will not make much sense. My first reaction was, it's good that they kept the original actor for Joseph Dunn after 19 years of doing the first movie. I didn't realize it until I saw the flashback, but once I did, I felt that he really deserves that part. Then we move on to the scene where we saw the Beast in action, and I have to admit, he wasn't as scary as I saw him in Split. If anything, the suspense that this character have now is ruined forever. For me, another thing that is ruined is how brilliant each individual character is, but once they are summed together, for me, the pizzazz that I was hoping for didn't happen. I have no idea why, but in Unbreakable, I adore both David Dunn and Elijah Price. They were both equally challenging. And even though the movie creeps me out, Split actually embodies Kevin and all of the other personalities perfectly. Makes him creeps me out in all the right ways. But now that they are together, I feel that the writers just want to end their dynamics as soon as possible. Because for me, the storyline feels a little bit rushed. Everything was already in place, and even when they rolled in Mr. Glass, while he's being in his vegetable state, I knew that's a lie. I just knew that somehow he will persuade the beast and there will be a final epic battle between David Dunn and Kevin Wendell Crumb, which is essentially what happened, right? Nevertheless, I enjoy the process, and I love how Kevin's personality keeps changing with each flash of the hypnotizing light. It's always a delight to see. But then the ending happened, and it is revealed that there's a secret society that prevents superheroes and supervillains from living ever, which was surprises and confuses me. I just feel like this presence of secret society is so convenient, and yet still not the best that the writers and everyone else could produce. Don't get me wrong, it is really epic and caught me off guard. But I feel if it is changed with another institution that holds the same importance, maybe a secret department in a government, or heck, even the FBI himself has another division or something like this, the effect would still be the same, I guess. So why pursue this secret society approach? Maybe there will be a next movie that will explain this. I don't know. As for the actual ending, when a video is leaked by Mr. Glass about the superheroes and supervillains' whereabouts, it is satisfying enough for me, but maybe not for others, because let's be honest, sometimes we just want the good guy to win and lead a happy life, since they deserve it. A little twinge in my head definitely felt that way, but I think, hey, maybe this actual ending will give more possibilities for the next movie or even the next series. Who knows? As for the characters, as always, my favorite is Kevin, because James McAvoy is just nailing it with having 24 different personalities. I can see him being sassy, cowardice, tough, all in just split seconds, and that is an amazing acting right there. I love it so much. The others are just doing their jobs, which is great. But of course, my least favorite character in this movie is actually the main villain, the actual villain, Dr. Ellie Stamp. I don't feel her presence much throughout this movie, but turns out she's the mastermind behind everything. Don't know, I'm just not a fan, I guess. So, should you watch this movie? Well, if you want to see the final act of the trilogy, of this magnificent trilogy, assuming that you have watched the previous movies, then sure, go ahead. Just no harm in that. I think you need to see this even to know how the story ends and how it might continue. But if you're not a fan of the trilogy, and if you haven't seen the previous two movies, then I do not suggest for you to watch this movie. Otherwise, you might get confused. That is a real thing. Although, it wouldn't be a waste of time if you do watch all three. Just saying. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this movie review, and if you do, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. They are in my description below. Thank you again so much for watching, and as always, I will see you next time.